Hello everybody out there in YouTube. I'm glad we could be together again. It's me, James, again, and today I'm going to be showing you what I got at the Plano Train show this year for 2021. And it is this. It is a pt.2 Lehigh Valley trolley. It's the semi-convertible Brill. This is their run-of-the-mill red one right here, as you can see. It's very nice, very well made. And you'll notice I've made some small modifications to it. The first one being that the trolley poles have ropes attached to them. Now, this one's made of elastic strings, so it snaps back, but this one's just made of regular string, so I'm going to have to replace that soon, because when I put it back down, doesn't snap back, it just kind of hangs around. I don't want it to get snagged on anything. But since we're going to be running the trolley forward, I'm going to have the back pole up. A lot of people might ask why. That's just because that's how they do it in real life. You never run the front pole. You run the back pole when you're going forward, and you run the back pole when you're going backwards. You know, because trolleys are double-ended. Anyway, now, these usually get sold for $200, maybe $300 because they have the, what is it called? The Proto Sound in them. Now this one was advertised as having Proto Sound in it. However, so the guy I got it from says, oh, you know, it had never been opened. He took it out of the box and he ran it, but he couldn't get the sound to work. So I tried everything I could at the show to get it to work. And it wasn't until I brought it home and tested it on my own track that I found out why. Either the board inside this engine had been swapped, or it came with this board from the factory as an error. And you're going to hear why in just a minute. So I'm going to power it up so it's sitting. Now, also one thing you'll notice about the MTH trolleys, they have flywheel motors. Why they did this, I really don't know, because it doesn't really add that much to them. Because you never really run these things fast enough to get the coasting effect. Anyway, but the flywheel motor is in this big box and it's right in the middle of the car, so that's why there's a giant dead space of blackness whenever they've got it lit up. It looks kind of funny. Honestly, if they just left it unlit on the inside and only had the little destination boards on the fronts, that's what that one is. If you can see it right there, it says or Allentown. If they had just left these little things lit up and left everything else black, that would probably work, but not really. Anyway, so I'm going to press the whistle button, and this is the sound it makes. Yeah, and when I press the bell button, nothing. If I swap the wires and do it again, it'll just make that loud honk for a lot longer. So it has a diesel horn on it for some odd reason. No bells, no nothing. Even when it runs back and forth, it doesn't make any of the sounds. And I've tried adjusting and everything, but it doesn't seem to do me any good. Anyway, let's see it run. Now it's sitting on the other end. Let's get the other pole up like so. Also, another thing, you never run a trolley with both poles up. The only time you'll ever see it do that is when it's in the shop and they're moving it from one side to the other, and then they close the other one down, like that. So now it can run in the opposite direction. Now I'm going to put this one back up and take this one back down. And now let's run the other way. Now, if you're wondering what the other one says, it says Easton right there. Kind of interesting. Now, here's something else you'll notice. This is the other modification I made to this car. Instead of it saying the Lehigh Valley, it says Texas Electric Railway. Mainly because, again, I model what I've seen or done in real life, and there are two Texas Electric Railway trolleys that still exist. One of them was a converted freight motor. The other one is an actual interurban car. And then there's another car. It's over 100 years old. It sits at Fort Worth ITC station, and it's car number 25. It ran on the Northern Texas Traction Company, one of the numerous companies that amalgamated into becoming the Texas Electric Railway. If you ever are in the area, I would highly suggest giving that car a visit. It's well worth it. Amazing stained glass and a beautiful paint job, and it sits very proudly as a reminder of the amazing interurban service which ran from 1908 all the way up until 1948. Anyway, I'm glad you all could watch this amazing little video, and if any of you know why it has a horn and why the sound isn't really working, drop a comment if you can. And if someone's watching from MTH, and if you know why this has happened, well, don't really think there's much you can do since the company's going out of business, but I wish them the best for the future. Hopefully they get bought or they get renewed in some way, shape, or form. Anyway, next stop, Main Street.